The unburied dead, the unburied dead are coming back to light, are coming back to light.
My name's Mark Worman.
I'm Darren Kirkpatrick.
And we get paid to bring dead cars back to life. We work with my best friend Royal and my son-in-law Josh. We search far and wide to find how a car was built, where it spent its life, and how it died. After that, we bring it back to look exactly the way it did on the day it was born. If we don't kill each other.
Just shut your mouth before I actually punch you out.
Can I leave a handprint on your face?
Today, the guys came down from Eclipse Measuring System, and they're going to give me a hand doing some real intricate measuring. This is the kind of thing that's way above the other idiots' pay grade, so I sent them home, so it'll just be myself and the two guys from Eclipse. And what we're hoping to do is create data from a beautiful, unwrecked, undamaged, or quadruple black Phantasm Cuda, and use that information on our wrecked Phantom Cuda when it comes time to put it together. That looks an awful lot like Handsome Bob. Hi, Handsome Bob.
Good to see you.
Mike, how are you?
Good.
I'm glad you guys came down to bail me out.
Yeah,
I mean, to help me out.
Beautiful day. We're glad to do it. Glad to do it.
This is one of those things that I would like to think I probably could fool my way around through it, but the data, creating data on one of these cars, I've just never done it before, and I'd like to know that it's right. Well, why don't we go out and I'll show you where we got all set up and see what we can do, make some history.
Okay, right.
Let's do it. So here is our Phantasm Homage 1971 quadruple black 344 speed number matching. Wow. I've known our black Phantasm Cuda since 1972. It used to belong to Darren's cousin. I know for a fact through history it was never wrecked. This is going to be a great donor for the information that we need to be able to continue building these cars and using the Eclipse Measuring System. So now we're basically ready to start establishing where we're going to put the targets.
So we want to have a what our work plan is.
Okay.
And typically we're gonna reference. Doesn't matter where we start hanging your targets, but we're gonna reference from the center section. The theory being that the center section is going to have the most integral strength, and the fact is that your other car only has a center section to start with. So.
well, now don't be picking on the brother's car.
We'll
I'm not even sure there's a center section. I think there's a cross member. Okay. So we got at least one hole.
We'll start there, and that'll give us a reference to then hang the rest of the parts.
Okay.
On. So we can just migrate down the car and put the targets in locations.
Okay.
Then we'll actually start the measurement and start to give it some references and basically capture a measurement snapshot of what you've got here.
The Eclipse Measuring System is a high-tech piece of equipment. Basically, it has a scanner that sends out these little lasers as it goes around, and it's looking for targets. The targets that they make, that it sees, tell it where in space these things hang. And we just know that the next car that we put up there, we'll put a target in the same hole, and as long as it tells the computer it's where it was on the car before it, we've got a perfectly square car.
So what we're going to do, Mark, in this particular case, we've got our targets in this drawer.
Right.
So we'll pull those out as we start to hang them on the car. But let's set up the attachments in each of the holes,
right,
so we have a location to hang the target from. So we'll just start with that.
Yep, they will bite. So this is the magnetic stay in that. They do got to go on right, correct? Okay, great. Okay, I think the front. Go up in here with this one.
Backwards.
Oh.
It's okay, because it'll.
Okay, I'll put this up here. And
right.
We're green.
So we're good. Okay, so now.
So tell me, we got all the targets up. What does that mean? That
means that now we've got some points, some dimensions we can take our information from, and like I said, as you move forward, you could add dimensions to add more dimensions to this particular car frame. So as the frame perhaps was had no front suspension on it, and you want to get some interim information, or You want to get some information on where the shackles are mounted.
Yep.
Of course, we can't measure it now because the shackles are mounted.
Right, right.
You know, we
But with the K-member out, we could use the holes that the K-member
pull that
holes
data
go
off
into with a magnet.
Exactly, and add to your data set. So it's very straightforward.
This system is like no other. I will be able to hang targets just as we have today in our Phantasm Cuda in the new panels that are going in and be able to place them exactly where they're supposed to be relative to the original factory specifications. If I'm pulling on one, sometimes we don't need to replace rails. Sometimes we just have one that was popped in the nose or popped in the butt and the frame rail's a little higher, it's swayed over. I can make live pulls on this thing. I can mount it down into a set of pinch welds, pull the frame rail over, and when that target turns green, I know that I'm on factory spec. It's a phenomenal system. Now that we have the targets in all the predetermined holes underneath the car, we can energize those targets and begin sending the information back to the computer for recording purposes.
So Mark, what we've done is we've taken your blueprint specifications, your on the paper specifications,
okay,
and we've actually been able to create a 3D model of the frame of the car. And so what that gives you is another view of the car.
Look at that. Yeah.
And you can see where it is, and if there was damage in here, it would show you which direction the damage was and how much. We'll change from green to yellow to red, depending on the level of damage.
Pretty excited about the new system. Works awesome. We're going to be able to put our other Cuda back together exactly to factory specs. I'm kind of enjoying that moment. Mike and I are talking underneath there about assembly line markings. It's really nice that Bob would be willing to fly all the way out from the East Coast to make sure that we're recording the data right, send his top tech out to make sure that we were doing everything by the book. And you know, it's an honor for me to be able to be around that kind of a system in today's world. Well, thanks for coming down. Okay. We'll see you on the next trip through.
Anytime. I'm just a short ride down the highway.
You all may come down a lot more often. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
See ya.